need to back off.
The best series Marvel will likely release on Disney Plus is Daredevil Born Again. We expect this to be the longest and highest quality production so far. Additionally, it promises to bring together all the street-level characters we've been waiting for. The first official trailer was released in recent weeks. There are a lot of details I want to share with you. Before we start analyzing, if you're new to the channel and don't want to miss out on content, don't forget to subscribe and like the video.
Thank you for finding the time.
Well, I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again. A lot of time has passed. By the look of it, you've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
The mayor serves his city. I can see you're not entirely convinced.
Can you blame me? I can't shake the feeling that you're gaming the system.
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
The line was crossed.
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature. Hating the power it has over us.
This city can't go unchecked.
Sometimes peace needs to be broken. And chaos must reign.
Am I putting the hatchet down? I was raised to believe in grace. But I was also raised to believe in retribution.
It must be acknowledged that the events in the trailer unfold somewhat chaotically. However, after hearing the information I will provide, you will understand much more clearly what the series is trying to convey. Matt Murdock has now given up being Daredevil. Instead of patrolling the streets and delivering his own brand of justice, he chooses to uphold the law as a lawyer. In the past, Daredevil's goal was to capture and punish criminals who had been released due to the corruption of the legal system and were likely to commit more crimes. I don't know if there are still people unfamiliar with the character, but Matthew Murdock was blinded as a child due to an accident. However, the substance that took his sight also gave him his radar sense ability. The sounds he perceives with his ears grant him an enhanced awareness of his surroundings, allowing him to detect things that even a person with sight wouldn't be able to see. For example, while you can't see what's happening behind you, Daredevil can perceive everything around him. In addition to the advantages of this ability, there are, of course, disadvantages. High-frequency sounds can disorient Daredevil or even cause him pain. Even the slightest damage to his ears could completely incapacitate Matt Murdock. Now that we've provided this information, we can continue Daredevil's story from where we left off. Some people are wondering whether the Netflix series is still canon, and the answer is yes, it is. Matt Murdock was introduced in the MCU as Spider-Man's lawyer. Later, he returned in the She-Hulk series, where his character was utterly ruined. Even though he added value to the She-Hulk show, Daredevil's rightful place should have been in the bloody and cold streets. Netflix had already shown us the history between Kingpin and Murdock. After his bloody and disgraceful past, Kingpin was now trying to become the mayor to gain control over the entire city. The city needed Matt Murdock because the streets had become overrun with criminals hunting down members of the judiciary. In the trailer, we see a character named Muse, who wears a white mask. Muse is a psychopath who turns his victims into art pieces, and his targets are generally corrupt government officials, police officers, judges, prosecutors, essentially anyone involved in corruption. He kills them in a way that reflects his own artistic vision and leaves them behind as gruesome displays. There are undoubtedly people who support what Muse is doing. After all, the justice system is something that often releases potential murderers and psychopaths without any punishment. Since Muse continues his actions, people believe that no one will be able to stop him. Matt Murdock, on the other hand, had given up being Daredevil a few years ago because, in a moment of anger, he accidentally killed someone. According to Daredevil's philosophy, killing is not an option. In the trailer, he even says that he won't continue because he crossed the line. However, since he is constantly targeted and cannot even live a peaceful civilian life, he is forced to return to his old ways. Kingpin and Matt Murdock are now on equal ground. One has left behind his criminal past to become a lawyer, while the other has abandoned his mafia background to run for mayor. As Murdock fights armed robbers, he takes them down one by one, and to conceal his identity, he wears the mask of one of the red-masked criminals. You can easily recognize him from his fighting techniques and combat style. To show that Daredevil Born Again is a continuation of the Netflix series, they have included a few key references. The return of certain characters from the previous series in the trailer was not without reason. For instance, there is a scene featuring the Punisher, as Daredevil will be seeking his help in the series. Additionally, it has been confirmed that Elektra will return and appear in a few episodes. Most likely, Jessica Jones and other street-level characters will also make appearances in the later episodes, because they included a reference to the nightclub operated by Luke Cage. But the return of old friends isn't necessarily a good thing. This is because an incident involving one of his old friends will likely push Matt Murdock to cross the line. Most likely, they will show that Foggy Nelson is killed, leading to Daredevil crossing the line. Matt Murdock will have broken up with She-Hulk, aka Jennifer Walters, as he is shown to be in a relationship with Heather Glenn. Later on, we see Kingpin delivering a national address. In this scene, we also see an advertisement for the factory where Bruce Banner worked in the Incredible Hulk movie. The fact that this company is still operating despite the Stanley scandal makes us wonder. Right next to it, we see a museum dedicated to Rogers. Additionally, in the first few episodes of the series, we will see an enemy named Bullseye. One of the villains from the previously released Netflix series, Bullseye, will be returning. Bullseye is a mysterious mercenary. In fact, in the first Daredevil movie starring Ben Affleck, he was the one who killed Elektra. In the MCU series, he will first make his debut in Daredevil, Born Again, and then return in Hawkeye Season 2. Once Bullseye escapes from prison, he will most likely go after Karen Page, meaning that Murdock will have to save his ex-girlfriend. Another villain featured in the trailer is White Tiger. It's interesting that they didn't make White Tiger a woman. Now, the character we were expecting to be a woman is portrayed as a man. This individual, who is seen killing a man in the subway station, appears in the series as one of Matt Murdock's clients. White Tiger is someone who idolizes Daredevil. He seems to be someone who, like Daredevil, wants to protect people, but he constantly crosses the line and kills people. Matt Murdock will begin to feel that the Daredevil identity is setting a bad example for others, and in fact, this is one of the biggest reasons he wants to quit being Daredevil. Later in the trailer, we see Kamala Khan's father. I believe they included this scene in the series to show that Miss Marvel is seeking legal help. It's no coincidence that Matt Murdock is particularly trying to be a lawyer for superheroes. He wants to legally defend heroes who, like him, strive to support society. He aims to take them under his wing, and in fact, he succeeds in doing so. Additionally, they have shown some of the various costumes the character has worn in the comics: white, red, yellow, and black. 2 of the red costumes have already been shown in the cinematic universe. One extra character we were expecting to appear in this series was Spider-Man. That's because Spider-Man 4 was initially planned to focus on street-level characters. However, if they decided to make it a multiverse movie, it's difficult to say for sure whether we will see Spider-Man or not. The series will premiere on March 5th, 2025, and will have a total of 2 seasons. Each season will consist of 9 episodes, and it's worth noting that the second season will also be released in 2025. So, we can say that the trailer we've watched reveals almost nothing about the series. Alright friends, I hope you liked the content I prepared. If there are any other videos you'd like to see, don't forget to write them in the comments. That's all from me for now. Take care and goodbye.